All right, let's jump right into a topic that I promise you is a huge part of your chemistry exams, the physical properties of organic compounds. You know, why does one substance boil at a totally different temperature than another? It can seem kind of complex, but trust me, by the end of this, you're going to have a clear, step-by-step method to nail any question they throw at you.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with the basics. What are these properties anyway? Then we'll uncover the secret forces holding molecules together. After that, we'll connect those forces to the properties we can actually see and measure, learn how to compare different molecules, and finally put it all together to absolutely crush that exam question. Ready? Let's do this.
So let's kick things off with a little mystery. On the screen, you see two very similar molecules, pentane and hexane. But here's the thing. Hexane has a much higher boiling point. It takes way more energy to turn it from a liquid into a gas. So why? What's going on here? Well, the answer is hidden in the invisible forces acting between these molecules.
Okay, first things first, let's get on the same page. What do we even mean when we talk about physical properties? Simply put, these are the characteristics of a substance that we can actually observe and measure, without changing what the substance is chemically. Now, for your exams, these are the big four you really need to get your head around: boiling point, melting point, vapor pressure, and solubility. We're going to focus mostly on boiling point today, but the cool thing is the principles we're about to cover, they apply to all of them. These properties basically tell us how a whole bunch of molecules decides to behave out in the real world.
Let's zoom in on boiling point. The official definition sounds a bit, textbooky. But think of it like this. It's just the temperature where the molecules in a liquid finally get enough energy to break free from their neighbors and escape into the air as a gas. It's really all about overcoming the forces that are holding them all together.
And that right there, that brings us to the absolute heart of this whole topic. If you want to understand physical properties, you have to understand the secret glue that holds molecules together. We call these intermolecular forces, or just IMFs for short. Honestly, the best way to wrap your head around IMFs is to just think of them as molecular stickiness. That's it. Some molecules are just stickier than others, and the stickier they are, the harder it is to pull them apart. And that, right there, directly impacts all their physical properties. First up, we've got the most basic kind of stickiness: London forces. You might also hear them called dispersion forces. Now, these are the weakest of the bunch, but they are so important because, and get this, every single molecule has them, no exceptions. It's like a baseline level of attraction that's just caused by electrons randomly moving around.
Okay, moving up the ladder, we have dipole-dipole forces. These are a step stronger. They only happen in what we call polar molecules. Those are molecules that have a permanent slightly positive end and a slightly negative end. They're basically like tiny little magnets attracting each other.
And finally, at the top of the ladder, we have this superglue of the molecular world, hydrogen bonds. Now, don't let the name fool you, okay? This is an intermolecular force between molecules, not an actual bond inside a molecule. It's a super-duper strong type of attraction that only happens when a hydrogen atom is bonded to a nitrogen, an oxygen, or a fluorine atom.
So let's put it all together. Think of it like a ladder of strength. At the bottom, you have the weakest, the London forces. In the middle, you've got dipole-dipole forces. And at the very top, the strongest of them all are hydrogen bonds. This little ladder is your key to unlocking everything. The stronger the force, the more energy it's going to take to break it. Simple as that.
Okay, so we've got the properties we can see on one side and these invisible forces on the other. Now for the magic part. Let's connect the dots and see exactly how the hidden world of forces explains the measurable world of properties.
Okay, listen up, because this right here, this is the golden rule. Seriously, burn this four-step thinking process into your brain, and you can solve any problem on this topic. It goes like this. First, you look at the molecule's structure. That tells you everything about the type and strength of its intermolecular forces. Then, the strength of those forces tells you how much energy you're going to need to overcome them. And finally, that amount of energy directly explains the physical property, like its boiling point. Structure to forces to energy to property.
So here's the bottom line, the direct cause and effect. It's super logical when you think about it. If you have stronger intermolecular forces, it means the molecules are holding on to each other more tightly, right? So that means you're going to need more energy to pull them apart, which results in a higher boiling point and a higher melting point. It also means it's harder for those molecules to escape from the liquid's surface, which gives them a lower vapor pressure. See? It all connects.
All right, now for the fun part, actually putting this knowledge to work.
In an exam, you're almost always going to be asked to compare two or more different molecules. So let's see how our golden rule works in the real world.
Take a look at propane versus butane. Both are nonpolar, so they only have those basic London forces. But butane is a longer molecule. It has a bigger surface area, which means more points where it can stick to its neighbors. Think of it like trying to pull apart a short piece of tape versus a really long one. Which one is stickier? The long one, right? Same idea here. Butane has stronger London forces, so it needs more energy to be pulled apart, giving it a higher boiling point.
And this graph, this is the proof in the pudding. It shows vapor pressure on the y-axis and temperature on the x-axis. Now, boiling happens when that vapor pressure hits the atmospheric pressure. That's that dotted line near the top. Notice how the pentane line hits it at about 36 degrees? But look at hexane. You have to heat it all the way up to almost 69 degrees to get it to boil. This graph is literally a picture of hexane's stronger intermolecular forces at work.
Okay, now for a classic showdown you'll definitely see. An alkane versus an alcohol of about the same size. Ethane, on the one hand, only has those weak London forces holding it together. But ethanol, well, because of that special OH group, it has London forces plus those super strong hydrogen bonds between its molecules. And believe me, that hydrogen bonding is an absolute game changer. We've built the foundation. We get the concepts. Now, let's put it all together and build that perfect answer for a typical exam question. We're going to go from mystery to mastery right now. So here's the kind of question you can bet you'll see. Explain why ethanol has a much higher boiling point than its parent alkane, ethane. Notice it's not just asking what the difference is, it's asking why. And this is where our 4-step golden rule becomes your superpower. Let's just walk through together. Step 1. Forces. You identify the forces in both. You'd say, ethane has only weak London forces. Then, ethanol has London forces and strong hydrogen bonds. Perfect. Step 2. Compare. You state clearly that the intermolecular forces in ethanol are significantly stronger than those in ethane. Step 3. Energy. Now you connect it. You explain that because ethanol's forces are stronger, more energy is required to overcome them. And finally, step 4. Property. You wrap it up with a conclusion. Therefore, ethanol has a higher boiling point. Boom. That's a full mark answer right there. Look, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Whenever you see a question about boiling point, melting point, or vapor pressure, your brain should immediately go to one place: intermolecular forces. It is always about the intermolecular forces and how strong they are. That is the key to everything. So we've totally cracked the code for boiling points, but these same intermolecular forces are at play literally everywhere. You know those powerful hydrogen bonds we saw in ethanol? That's what gives water its amazing properties like surface tension. These forces are fundamental to biology, to material science, to just about everything. It makes you wonder, right? What other everyday things that we take for granted could be explained by these tiny, invisible forces?